Alright, in this video I'm going to talk about the two external tools I use on Linux. One of them is called FZF, which is very popular and has got an integration with the popular editors too. I'll show you how you can do so, and you can use that particular stuff, that FZF stuff, which is stand for fuzzy finding, which could be done from the command line itself. Okay, the other tool is called VGREP, which is nothing but a grape with some sort of sugar, syntactic sugar added to it, which will have a FZF binding, so it will be easier to search through all this stuff. So basically, two external tools, FZF and VGREP. So without further ado, let me get into my terminal, and the first thing I wanted to show you that FZF has a key binding with Control T and three key bindings: Control T, Control R, and Alt C. I have used Alt C for different reason in my window manager config, so I take that option out, which basically allow FZF to get into a designated directory, which I have binded it to something else. So basically, if I install FZF from Git repo, although FZF has been released for several Linux distribution, and their repository is containing the package which is made the package for that particular operating system. So but I decided to have it on through Git because I wanted to access it from a common location, because I hop between different OS which I have in my system, and I want my tool to be centralized in one place, which is getting available from all the 4 OSs I use. Okay, so basically I install it from Git. Okay, so the first thing you need to do, if I wanted to reverse search something on the terminal, we press Control T. See, these things, if I do something like that, it will come with a fuzzy search like this. Okay, so it's pretty easy and very intuitive to search. Okay, so this is one of the way. All we did in normal sense, Control R to get a reverse search. Now FZF is binded with that, so it providing you a facility where you can search it. Okay, or if you can write something like that, you'll find this kind of stuff, right? Pretty darn simple and very useful. The second thing is that if we are in a particular directory and we want to enlist some directory to open, say for instance I wanted to open a particular file, I give the editor v is a small alias to vim. Okay, it could be anything. If you wanted to open it, just Control T and it will present you this kind of important file, something like that. Whatever it is, it will provide you a nice enlisting to something which you probably can use with say anything I wanted to open with that. If I do this, it will simply going to open that particular file in a designated editor, which in this case is Vim. Okay, so Control R and Control T on terminal binded with FZF. Okay, and by default it is using here FZF under home directory, and here it is. Okay, so there is an install script, there is an uninstall script, so you can check it out. Okay, so there is a bin directory where the FZF binary is there. If you wanted to access it from somewhere, you just copy this FZF binary to a path where your terminal can find this FZF with the designated path, so you can use it from anywhere else. Okay, so and I'm sorry, and it has a binding with the editor. For Vim, I'm inside my Vim, right? If I press Control F, see, it presented with left hand side the files are there, and on the right hand side the content of the file in a preview window. It's a normal way of FZF showing the file content while searching through the file. I'm inside Vim, by the way, so I press Control F to get this particular interface. Okay, so there is a Vim plugin for FZF, so you can, if you install that, you could avail all the FZF stuff inside Vim. Okay, so it's pretty darn simple, and just press Control C to get out of it. So you can see you can use FZF on terminal, and you can use FZF on on inside the editor, right? To start, you know where to get it, right? FZF. It's open. Let me. There is a GitHub page where you should look for the FZF related stuff. My internet is pretty darn slow. It takes time to open. I don't know why. Gosh, it's taking too much time, right? Okay, so this is how, let it open. I don't know what is stopping this damn thing. It's taking too much time. And the next tool I'll talk about, so here is that first instance on the GitHub search. Here you can find the FZF stuff in this particular page. Okay, so if you it is clearly written there, so you can invest some time to read through it, and it's pretty darn simple. As I said, it has 3 key binding: Control T, Control R, and Alt C. And out of that, Alt C I do not use because I have binded with something else with my window manager. The facility Alt C provide, I have achieved it with auto dir in shell. For instance, if I do like anything, LK, LT, so I can get into any, because I have activated auto dir in bash rc. So if I write the name of the folder, it takes me there. Okay, simple stuff. As simple as that. So I don't need Alt C to perform that specific thing to me from FZF. But Control T and Control R, as I shown to you, Control T will allow you to select the file which you can open with your specified editor, and Control R is for the reverse search of the command you ran on command line. So these things get integrated with FZF, so it will provide you nice interface to get things going. Okay, so this is the FZF GitHub page, which I'll give you the link in the description section below. So most of the Linux distribution have FZF in their default repository. You can get it. If you don't get it, just clone this particular repo in your home directory and you are good to go. Copy that stuff copy the FZF binary to your known path and you are good to go. Okay, so I did it through Git. So here is the FZF folder. If you go here and if you go to the shell directory, you can see there are different key binds. So if you open key binding bash, if I open it, so you can see the implementation is written in this file, how it has to interact in the bash shell with all FZF related stuff, right? So it is pretty darn simple. If you these are the command implementation. You can see Control T, Control R, right? So you can see how these things get operated on with the FZF binding in the terminal space. Okay, likewise if you run different shell like fish or zsh, okay, you can look into the command line on this particular file. If you are inquisitive and inclined enough to know, there is another file called completion.bash, which allow you to provide the bash completion. Okay, so and example, if I write F and then place 2 asterisks and just simply hit the tab, it will show me this file name. Okay, so simple stuff. So this completion.bash, you can have a look at it to find out what sort of integration it has got with the bash shell. Okay, you can tweak it, you can tailor it according to your need. All right, okay, so this is the page of FZF. I'll give you the link if you haven't got it already. It's a very popular tool and everyone using it. So I don't know how much this video will help people. I think most of them, those who are seeing it, likewise the globbing work like this. If you want to kill some process, just double asterisk and tap, it will enlist you the process. Okay, so likewise if you wanted to get into some directory or do something, file under the home directory or something like that, as it will enlist you the file so you can get into it with your specific editor, right? It makes life easy to get things, give you an interface to easily find stuff. Okay, that is the whole purpose of it. Okay, so the next tool I'm going to talk about called VGREP. Okay, so if I get into one of my directory and I run VGREP and run Linux, so I have integration. It's a grep with an FZF integration with it. Although VGREP can be used standalone basis, it has got its own commands which can be run interactively from the terminal if you want. If you do not have FZF integration with VGREP, I have got a FZF integration with VGREP. So it is showing like this. If I wanted to search something, it will show me like this, and if I wanted to get it to a particular stuff, I just press enter. It will go take me there in that specific file directly with the specified editor. Okay, pretty darn simple. VGREP kernel. So I'm in a specific directory. I just wanted to search some particular stuff with VGREP, and it will show you a nice way and specify the line where the word you are searching missing, appeared, and the file and the content of it. So if you press enter, it will going to take you to that specific file on that specific line in editor. As simple as that. So if I search for VGREP in GitHub, so you can see this is the first one, the first search like FZF. This is the place. VGREP is a user-friendly pager for grep. Okay, so this has got its own mechanism of showing grep. It's very intuitive, very useful from the command line. You can directly use it. It will help you to find out the context. It will allow you to open those context related stuff. That means if you are searching something out of a dump of file, lots of file, and if you wanted to get the specific thing, it will open up the file which is having that kind of stuff. Like if you do not have a FZF integration with VGREP, you can run the interactive command like this. It has got its own commands, like these commands are available: print, show, context tree, delete, and all this stuff. You can run it interactively from the prompt. Okay, so it's a darn simple tool which does a simple work for you. Okay, so this is the part I shown to you to integration with FZF. You can see my cursor is moving. This is the part I shown to you, and as I said, and this is the particular stuff I have in my bash RC. If I go here and if I get VGREP bash RC, see, this is the stuff I have in my bash RC file because I use bash. So it allow me to use FZF with VGREP to enlist the file I wanted to see and open in a specified editor. It make things very simple, very useful. Okay, so what I show you, VGREP and FZF. So there are few other options which I haven't covered it, but if you are inclined and curious enough, please get into. I give both the tools GitHub URL in the description section below, so you can go to that specific GitHub page and spend a little bit of time, read through it. You might find other thing might be useful which I haven't shown you in this demonstration. I have shown you only the basic and few what I personally use. Okay, you probably wanted to use it in a different fashion, different way. The recipes there in that GitHub pages for both the tool. Kindly go to those pages and spend a little bit of time to find out what else you could have applied to your workflow. These tools are very popular and it's been existed for some time. Okay, so it is not absolutely new, few years old probably. So give it a shot if you have an inclination to. I do use because it enhances my workflow. It gives me some sort of convenience to get along with the work I do, with the kind of stuff I do. Okay, so I hope it will be useful for some people. Thanks for watching.